everybody, how you all doing? Hope everything is streaming fine. Let me know. Sup, I feel like I haven't been here for a while. I've been editing a lot, I've been filming, I have so much to edit. I don't know why I've decided to make a video that is mostly, you know, visuals, like photos. I regret it so badly. I don't know why I stick with it, just with the hopes that maybe that would be some kind of a breakthrough. But seriously, I appreciate now how much time it takes to add a photo to every segment of your speech and then make it transition, things like that, you know. But it's all for you. It's all for you people. Hello, hello. Okay, let me see that it is streaming. Right away it says there is an error, even though I changed my settings so that it would be easier to stream. So I'll tell you what's the plan. I hope the video is fun. I hope the audio is fine though, even if nothing else. All right. Let me see who is here. Hey Shana. Hey, how you doing? Hello, hello. Who else is here? XY Fast Track. Thank you for being here. Hey Dylan, go Trump. Yes, go Trump. Who else? Dylan, love the red sweater. Thank you. Dylan, where I wanted. Hello, Relic Tribes. How you doing? All right. Hello. Okay. Yep, things are fine. Let's start. I have a couple of things I want to react to. Let's start with the fun part, okay? I mean, all right. Hands out. I opened this article, Sky News. That is weird. Oh. Oh, good. Okay. Hello. Oh, Shirley. Celebrating Israel's 0110. How do you say it? Actually, we won against Belgium. That's amazing. Must have been a miracle. We're famous for our bad soccer. Hey, Megan. I don't know why people in Israel love it so much. If it's so popular here, at least be good at it, you know. But sure. Oh my. All right. Mariana, will I collaborate with Adam Secure again? I can try, actually. I'd love to. Sorry, I just looked for a second. I got like an urgent message from somebody who I didn't talk to for a long time, who was here in my channel, to remove my videos with him because his family in Jordan might be targeted, which make it really easy to guess who sent me a message. And it's like, dude, urgent. And if you don't remove it, then, and they're gonna get, my family's gonna get targeted in Jordan, then there is blood on your hands. Ugh, I mean, I don't have a problem like hiding those videos, but seriously, man, blood on my hands. I don't think there will be blood on my hands. All right. Sorry for being slow. Just, it feels like my purple pulp. Yeah, it's such a tsumi. Tsumi is like attention sinking. Rob, who? It's what it was a whole drama. I mean, not really. It's just that, I don't know. Did he continue complaining about me and making content? Like, I saw some community notes that he made about me being all kind of stuff, which I don't even remember what he said. I just remember he like snapped at some point. It was like he was trash talking me and AP and Frank from the Nigerian perspective. You know, I don't even remember what he was saying, and at some point I just stopped noticing. But oh my god, like, oh, you're gonna have blood in your hands if you don't remove the videos. Urgent, urgent. Like, who writes like that? The heck? Just ask to remove it without, like, you're gonna have blood on your hands if something happens to them. The heck is gonna blame me? Yeah, I got some lives with him. Hi, investor. What's up? Smash like, everyone. It's free. Yes, it is. Who is she talking about? I mean, Shane Koigar is talking about her. Oh my god. If I ever have any interaction with him, I feel like it's gonna be the same kind of person, you know? The same type. It'll be the same. Alright, let me try to see something. Why? You know, it's stuck. It's funny. It's not what you're supposed to be seeing. It's like... Oh, yeah. Okay. Trump hands out top jobs. Who is in, who is out, and who are the leading contenders. All right. So we have Marco Rubio, Vivek Ramsey, Susie something, Elon Musk. And I've gathered some videos of them on X talking about different things. So there is Christine, and we're gonna go through them. What do you guys prefer? Should we start with that, or should we start with Mr. Drama Queen? Which I don't know if he supported. Dan Bilzerian. I don't know if he supported Trump, to be honest, but I saw so many tweets of people who were like, they cannot believe that Trump is there are so many Zionists that Trump chose to be in his government. And like, oh my god, we feel betrayed. Have you guys watched anything from Trump's campaign? Like, how stupid can someone be? Seriously. Alright, you guys saying Drama Queen first, okay. Drama Queen first, okay. Shauna also, go over the Drama Queen. Okay, let's go. Let's read. I thought like just going through his ex would be amazing. Oh my god. You guys. Thank you for your support, you. I'm gonna go through it in a little bit. I know, yeah, he's an F-tard, but like investor is saying here, but seriously, like, I feel like it's amusing sometimes to see how stupid people are. And I want to say thank you so much, Adami, for your super chat. And Joshua, Sirwek, I love Uncle Viv. Be nice to Vivek Ramaswamy. I will be. I'll share his videos, like this one. video that went viral of him. Thank you so much for your super chat, guys. Anyway, I don't know, sometimes it's fun to go through things like that. That's true. Not even a queen, he is just a drama girl, 100%. Don't know about Rubio unless Trump bought him off. I don't know either. I'm not that much into American politics, believe it or not. The only thing the people I knew about is obviously I knew them only because they made some cool comments about Israel and they're on my good list. The interesting person that I feel is interesting is Tulsi Gabbard. To me, I saw an interview with her and it was such a red flag for me and I don't know, red light alert, when she said she used to support Bernie Sanders, which to me means that she was retarded. And I don't know if you can grow out of being retarded. But I also saw what she was saying about Turkey. And I agree with her. I actually think that she might be unconventional and stuff like that, or I'm not sure she'll be, I heard people saying she is supporting Assad regime and Iran, but I think it might be good to have somebody who is focusing on Turkey, which I've made a video, is Turkey gonna be the next Iran? Recently, several months ago, many months ago, I feel like by now, but I don't know. Tulsi has energy and is complex. Yeah, I have to see who she is. Luckily, I think they only keeping her in the military stuff. She seems to know a little bit about Islam, Tony Bobo. That's good to know. Anyway, it's good to have people focus on different things, because maybe she was wrong, and of course she was very, very wrong supporting Bernie Sanders, because that's not something you do when you have a brain. But I don't know, if nobody told you anything about who that person is, and then you learn, then it's alright too. So, but I don't know, I saw some people who are afraid. And another person that is very controversial, I feel like he's the most controversial that Trump picked, is Kennedy. And with his health reform. But I feel like from what I've seen, and I really didn't dig into it, I try to stay in the geopolitical lane. It's not that I cannot dive into the health realm. I can. I just feel like, this is not something I want to be an expert on. So, yeah.
You're not telling the other side.
All right, let's go through this idiot and what he's saying. And this is the post he has pinned down. So he must be proud of that interview and whatever was happening in that minute and a half. So let's check who Dan Bilzerian is before. I know I don't want to go and look at the whole interview he had with Piers Morgan, because I just don't like Piers Morgan. I feel like he and Dan Bilzerian have exactly the same thoughts and opinions, and he just brought him so that he wouldn't have to spell it out for the public. He just wanted somebody else to say what he thinks, because if he's a effing coward, a British fat F coward. But Dan Bilzerian is an idiot, and he's public about it. I also feel like he had several companies that were just a scam, but there was such an easy to see through scam that I don't know. It's okay, if you believe in this guy, if you support him, then you're just an idiot, and that's your problem. I don't know. Yeah. that Dan looks like the American version of Momo Hijab. Is it that? Yeah, probably. But this is why he likes the Quran, probably. I don't, you know what my problem is? Like, this is why I said there are Muslims and there are Mohammedans. So people like Muhammad Hijab and Dan Bilzerian, like when they read the Quran, they think they're like Muhammad, right? They identify with the main character and they're like, oh my God, I want to do whatever I want. This is the best like religion ever. Like, all you have to do is to establish yourself as somebody who is an authority figure that has the same as like the same rights that Muhammad had, because you're that influential, and that's it. And I mean, that's how they think. I get it though. It's just the rest of, I get them, like it makes sense. Like Muhammad Hijab is like, he can do whatever he wants because he's like, he sees himself as Muhammad. He doesn't see himself as those who were taken care of by Muhammad. Right? Is like, it's your problem. It's like, I'm an alpha man, you know, like, your problem if you know.
The story of what they're doing either. You're not saying what Hamas did. You're not saying what they did.
What did Hamas do?
I mean, from day one, when you see the rapes and the videos, we've all seen it. This isn't something
What rapes and videos?
But stay on this here if you want to continue with this.
But what rapes and videos?
But my concern when you're saying Israel's doing it, you're saying the other side isn't doing anything.
No, but I'm asking. There was no rapes during October 7th. They've shown no rapes from October 7th. They showed no beheaded babies.
Man. This is where I feel like there should be somebody on the other side to tell them that in Judaism, in our culture, the families would rather not have those kind of videos filmed and like shown around and paraded around, because we don't like when all sorts of psychopaths choose that as their porn material. And I don't know, man, I don't trust you. You pushed somebody from the rooftop to a pool, if I'm not mistaken. So I kind of feel like you could be the kind of person that they would watch the video to do things that the families would rather you not do. So it's a dilemma. It's a real dilemma. Somebody has to, every time somebody brings it up, they didn't watch the rape videos or whatever, the answer should always be, it's because we don't trust you not to fact to it. Because looking at you, you look like the person that would do that. And this is why the families would rather not have it out publicly. But if you want, we can do it in private. But we prefer it not to be like the kind of videos that would be the kind of things that you take pleasure of. But let us show you, for example, what they did to the Thai workers, or what they did to things and like people. Sure, fun, but I don't know. It's just not our culture. You don't show everything. It's just not normal.
Babies, all that was all bullshit.
I'll send you stuff. No, there's plenty of stories. It's not all of them.
The Israeli articles that I saw recently said that there was only 2 babies killed. One was shot by a bullet, and the other one died in a hospital. There was no babies in ovens. There was no beheaded babies. All that was all bullshit.
Actually, the thing with the babies, it's really hard to understand how many. Even for me, like, I couldn't figure out. First of all, like, beheaded babies or whatever, I think it's just something like a rumor a journalist made up and started. Not every person that was, and especially babies, that something happened to them, a lot of the families didn't want to publish their names, so it wasn't made public. So we don't know. But there are at least, there are at least a couple of babies that did go public. But I've heard stories, I don't know how many exactly. There are also like infants and things like that. So I don't know about all the stories. I know that some things were like, some families asked not to didn't want the stories of their own families to be published or available to the public, for example. And I think it's especially easy to do with babies, since not many people know about them.
Okay, so go back to the part when you said they think they're better than you. You believe that Jews think they're better than everybody else.
It says it in their Bible.
Okay, but you believe they're better than everybody else. Okay,
Wait,
I didn't say they're better than everybody.
think they're better than you. You believe
The Israeli articles that I saw recently said that there was only 2 babies killed. One was shot by a bullet.
Only 2 babies killed? Only 2 babies killed? I just realized that I missed that part where it was like, what if there were only 2 babies killed? Man. The articles that he saw, there were only 2 babies killed. Right.
The other one died in a hospital. There was no babies in ovens. There was no.
I mean, it's totally normal to go to a crib and shoot a baby from point blank. It's what you do, right? By the way, this is something that the photos of that, for example, Israel photoshopped the baby so that you wouldn't see the bullet hole. Like, the families just don't want people to see those photos. And even if you go like behind the scenes, like you cannot, like I saw some photos and videos and things that weren't made public, and I wasn't even allowed to take photo of those photos. Like I couldn't take photos of it. There was a section was like, this is not public, that's private, and you cannot. And even there, like the baby, they had a version where they photoshopped the forehead so that the bullet hole wouldn't be seen. But okay, sure. I mean, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not normal. And I like, no, it's not normal to go to a crib and shoot a baby. It's not normal. Dan, it's like it should be shocking as is, right? It's like it's a bullet from point blank with an intention, murderous intention. What the heck is wrong with you? It's not even during like from afar or something. No, I know this baby, like that was from point blank. And like it's not like they were put in the oven. Like, this is one of the things when people have porn addiction, like this guy probably has, right? Their choices tend to be more and more extreme because nothing satisfies them anymore. They can't even, I mean, real people don't work at some point either, but like, yeah, you know, those kind of, like, I not from experience, I just read about it, to be honest, but you just, at some, like, you need more and more and more extreme because you get this sentence like, I'm sorry, no, you don't need that to be awful. You can stop at mild awful for it to be awful, right? You don't need to be like, but they didn't eat them, which, by the way, there are so many stories of Yazidi women that were, at least, I've heard at least 2, which I'm not sure if it's the same one, that they gave her, they gave her baby, they cooked her baby and fed her baby. So, I mean, if that's the kind of material you're expecting, well, I guess they didn't have time in that 24 hours to manage, they couldn't exceed your expectations. After all, at some point the police did arrive and people did fight back, you know. It wasn't just like they're coming butchering and people are like, okay. There were places that where it was like that, where it's like people were caught and like they did whatever they wanted with them. It's like, especially they found a room that hosted like several foreign workers that they were from Thailand. Oh my God, what they did. Oh my God. And like, and they're not even, they're visibly foreign workers. Why? Why did they do what, like, I don't want to start describing what they did, but seriously. Okay, so I'm sorry, you need to get off the internet and like get real life and understand that throwing people off the rooftop is not normal, and usually that's enough of a crime. You don't need to bake a baby, you know, like shooting a baby point blank is not so amazing either, you know.
Beheaded babies, all that was all bullshit.
Okay, so go back to the part when you said they think they're better than you. You believe that Jews think they're better than everybody else.
It says it in their Bible.
Okay, but you believe they're better than everybody.
To be honest, the more I get to know everyone else, I kind of started thinking that we actually are better than everyone else. And not because we are better, like there are so many idiots, but our culture makes you more sensitive. Can I say it like that? Like, the bottom line is that I realize that Israelis are way more sensitive than a lot of other people.
Everybody else. Okay.
I didn't say they're better than everybody else.
They think.
According to their scripture.
Okay.
You know, I mean, according to our scripture. Man, do you know what's our scripture? Is he aware that the Bible is our scripture? The Torah is part of the new, like the Bible that you have, like I think is an Armenian, like Christians have, includes our Old Testament, the Torah, which we follow, and no, we don't follow the Talmud. I mean, there is the Mishnah, but a lot of times, like, whatever. It depends on the kind of Jew you are, but the Torah is undisputable. Even it's undisputable, the Karaite Jews, the Samaritan Jews, and the rabbinical Jews, and all sects of Judaism all follow the Torah. And the most repeated commandment in the Torah is to respect the foreigner, the strangers amongst you. It's repeated 36 times in different forms, to love the foreigner because you were a foreigner in Egypt, and to respect them. And
but what if
and if you look at how they operate, right, like they literally caught people raping Palestinian prisoners, and there was riots. But the riots weren't because they were raping the prisoners. The riots were because they felt like they had the right to rape the fucking prisoners. That's why.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. Those sweet prisoners were Nukhba fighters who mass murdered and raped. To be honest, the right way to, if in a corrected world, right, the thing that should have happened to them was the good old stick from hole to hole. In reality, though, they tried to, I think the real story was that one of them tried to bring a cell phone to jail, stuck it up, it ended up badly. But, and it wasn't like the Nukhbas, right? They raped everything from grandmas, from very, very old grandmas who they broke, their cages, like their hips. And I think that not only grandmas, but they did it to men, and they did it with their bodies, like their own parts, like their own stick, their own privates. They used their own private sticks, right? At least like what I'm suggesting, which I'm not sure if it was done or not, but I mean, I guess maybe yes, maybe not, but this is like I'm saying that you use not your own stick, but a very long one, which I'm sorry, man, I love you all. You are great people. I know you think you are great and mighty, but you cannot go from a hole to hole. Thank goodness. I mean, that would have been disastrous if you could. So no man can do that, but find a stick that can do that, and this is the best way to go, personally. Like this is what needs to be told to them. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, yeah, those are the worst. This is the worst kind of scum. We have. Show me let's talk about person. I will show you what they did, and you'll see that sticking a little stick that is made out of wood or metal, but definitely not privately owned by anyone, is the least you should do. The least.
Why they almost had a fucking civil war, because they felt like they had the right to rape these prisoners. They felt like that was okay because they weren't Jewish. So, you know, when you have...
No, man. Okay, so I think Dan Bilzerian, he needs to go to jail and talk to inmates and ask them how do they think should the department that is separated because of the rightful way that inmates think about them should be treated if they did something to a child, let's say. It's a universal truth. It's not about Jewish or not Jewish. I mean, it's not that I want to compare our moral system to inmates and to the way they think certain people in jail should be treated, which is changing, unfortunately, because, you know, it used to be that even though they were psychopaths, they still got their moral system from the Bible, but now they're getting it from the Quran. So now that distinction is not happening anymore, unfortunately. But
have a society that operates like that, you're going to have fucking problems. And they're not the fucking most moral army. That's all fucking bullshit.
I mean, I don't know, like, so what? You're not in the most moral army. Who wants to be the most moral army? There is a movement in Israel that hates this so much, this trying to be most moral.
You're not telling the other side of the story.
We don't want to be moral. We don't want to be moral. We want to be feared. We want to be... It's something that I liked saying is like, for the longest time, I was like... And by the way, this is something that helped us, like the stories that the Arabs used to make up about the Jews. It was a double-edged sword. On one side of it, it was like we were being demonized. On the other side, we were being feared. And until social media, where people could see that we're actually a bunch of softies, we were feared, you know, and that saved a lot of headaches. But no. Anyway. They've lost control of the narrative. Speak your truth. People are awake. Sure, like. Russia made it illegal to criticize Jews before the Bolshevik genocide of 30 million Christians. I want to see what people react to that, actually. This is such a weird statement, especially considering the fact that Trotsky and all the Jewish Bolsheviks were like Lenin got rid of them first. Like they were the first ones to go. So what are you talking about? Everybody else that was left. Beria was with Stalin, right? Me too. I mean, it's not my expertise. But to be honest, okay, I say it as I'm not real Georgian because I'm Jewish, but still, like, as a Georgian person, like, part of it. Where do we get the credit for, like, Stalin being Georgian? Like, I don't wanna brag too much, but I think there are a lot of, like, very fearsome, like, scary people that came from Georgia. I think that should get more attention because, yeah. Yeah, Beria was with Stalin for sure, I know. There's the KGB. I don't know who was the Beria person of Lenin. Lenin was a complete, like, Lenin was the psychopath from the worst kind. Oh my god, scary. All right, Putin, first Soviet government was mostly Jewish. Lasted one day until the Jews were killed. Russian president says politicians were guided by false ideological considerations. It's true. If you speak about communists of any kind, that would be true. Let's hear him. Let's hear what he's actually saying.
Было принято советским правительством, первым советским правительством.
But he's actually talking to a Jewish crowd here. Do you think he's like bashing a Jewish crowd when he's talking to them? He's trying to be like, hey, we're like brothers and sisters and love, and probably. But by the way, Putin himself was in the KGB.
Решение о национализации этой библиотеки было принято советским правительством, первым советским правительством, и членами его являлись примерно на 80-85% евреи. Но они же, руководствуясь ложными идеологическими соображениями, шли тогда на аресты и репрессии и иудеев, и православных, и представителей других конфессий.
I'm sorry, I just opened my mouth because, like, I mean, he was chastising them for straying away from Judaism and repressing Jews who follow Judaism. I mean, I knew I couldn't expect any logic from him, but still. And people are saying fake AI clip. I don't know whether it's fake.
Мусульман, они всех гребли под одну гребенку.
Yeah, it does look weird though.
И вот эти идеологические шоры и
Why does it look so weird?
И ложные идеологические установки, они, слава богу,
But it sounds like him, like this is how it sounds like. Like this is how it sounds like when he speaks Russian. So, I don't know why it's so weird. Oh, somebody is saying that it wasn't fake. So the 40 babies, it was a real thing. Some of them were, actually, really? Somebody's saying it's fake. Anyway. So weird. Oh my god. I was saying that it did happen. So Johnny here is saying that it did happen. And some of the 40 babies had their heads cut off. So their names were not publicized then, right? Were they like were their families, part of the families that didn't want the people? That's the problem, with Israel. That's part of it, People are like, okay, prove it. But then Israel would not show you anything if the family does not approve it. And culturally, in Israel, in Jewish, in our culture, right? You don't show things. You don't do that. You don't. You don't. We don't even look like, you know how the Christians, when somebody is had passed, they have an open casket and people like look at the dead. You don't have that in Judaism. The body is covered. You just see them for a moment before you bury them, and that's it. You don't look at the dead. Like, you don't look at them. You don't publish their photos. You don't do things like that. That's not normal in our culture. So it might have happened, might have not, but I can tell you for sure that there are many, especially babies, especially kids, that people didn't want their things to be public. So I don't know, Larry, Yum. I don't know what it's about. Oh, I feel like, okay, the relic tribe, Dan looks like the American version of Mumukhija. Okay, I read that already, right? Joshua Siwak. This is going to sound rough, so fair warning. I doubted the body count of the death camps until I saw video of the US military footage. Maybe he needs to see the photo and video evidence, but this guy is done. Yeah. Interesting. The relic tribes. The irony of Dan's claims of communist Jews is that Stalin hated the Jews as much as Hitler did, and even planned to finish the job just before he died. I mean, communism hates Judaism. Those ideologies do not mesh together. Jews that are communists hate Judaism. Like, Jews that were in the kibbutz, they didn't like Judaism. And to this day, right, you have these people who are leftists and are Jews, but they're anti-Semites. Like, they really are anti-Semitic. Not in the sense, like, they just don't like Judaism. Like, they have a false god. This is what, you know, in Judaism is like the commandment, like, you shall not have a god, other god, how do I say, לא תעשה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי. You will not choose a god other than me, which I like the way it's written, because it doesn't say you have to have a god, but you cannot have any other god, which is basically any other ideology that is contradictory to the basic ideological perspective of Judaism, which communism, with its need to take other people's stuff, goes against the do not, you know, the 10th, the one that says don't want other people's stuff. So yeah, people like that are not, it's like ideologically they disagree with it. So anyway, here let's he says, not my best interview, but I said what needed to be said. All right. Did he? A minute of living with dignity and pride is better than 1,000 years of miserable life under boots of the occupation. Yahya Sinwar. Bro.
You do?
I don't like a religion that says that they're better than other people. And
you don't like, I'm sorry. Judaism doesn't send anyone who is not Jewish to hell, like a couple of other religions I know. You don't have to be a Jew to be a righteous person who gets a good reward, which actually is kind of flaky, to be honest, to begin with in Judaism. But I feel like if you punish people to go to hell if they don't do something, then you're the one that has to be a supremacist. per definition. You think you're better, so you're going to heaven, and we're all gonna rot in hell. We don't think that way.
What's that?
Well, you do. You obviously do. It's blatant. No one watching this will draw any other conclusion. I'm staggered about how brazen you've been.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it when people think they're better than other people, and you see that in Israel, and they're acting.
I don't like it when people think that they're better than other people. See, this is a problematic statement. Yes, I think every person that didn't do things like, I don't know, throwing somebody off a rooftop are better than you. Don't have to be Jewish. Just not a violent. Not if a man is let's say muscular and rich and didn't choose to use his power to abuse women, then they're better than you. And I think they should, every one of you that watches, I want you to know, all of you that watch and are good people and do not beat women and do not abuse women and do not abuse men, you know, doesn't have to be. Don't abuse the weak. You're all better than this Dan monkey guy, Dan Bilzerian. Yeah. Now, like, no, you don't like people for judging you, but you're supposed to be judged because you're. This is why we have a justice system. You have to judge others. It's like, yeah, they are better than you. Your moral system is corrupt. I'm sorry.
Acting like that, and they're treating Palestinians like second-class citizens. They're treating them like subhuman beasts, and it says that in their Talmud. So it says if you are not a Jew, that you are basically subhuman. And I don't think that Judaism and Christianity go hand in hand. I mean, they believe that Jesus is in hell burning in human shit, and they believe the Virgin Mary is a whore. So
Okay. We don't believe that. Okay? If you read the Talmud, which I'm sure you won't, and not even I would do. The thing is, like, it's full of humor, okay? And rabbis roast each other all the time, like make fun of each other and make fun of people and make jokes and things like that. You know, not everything that is written because people believe in it. Sometimes people just, you know, make fun of something. And they just, it's not that, like, you know, it's not ingrained into Judaism, believing that Jesus specifically is in hell or something like that. It's more like these people had fun roasting somebody that the followers of this person make their life miserable. So they're like, oh, just sitting there and be like, oh, imagining like how he's getting tortured and stuff. It's not ingrained. It's, you know, it's just so.
I don't think those are two religions that really intersect very well. But, you know, we've been programmed that they do, and we've been programmed that it's okay and that Jews are the chosen people, and I just disagree with that. I think everybody's equal.
Do you even
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I like this claim. Every people, every religion, every group, every person believes they are the chosen one. It's just that a lot of people actually believe it when Jews say it, so they take it. Like, it's like, this is just, you think that Jews are the chosen ones, so you're mad about it.
comprehend how this interview is going to play out when it airs?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be bad. But, you know, my opinion is not politically correct, but I believe that is the truth. You know, there's 2 billion.
I mean, I don't get it. Like, I don't get this. I mean, I get it because this is Piers. First of all, Piers Morgan, just say you agree and shut up, okay? Because nobody believes you. I've been saying it from the start, but even other people started picking it up. Like, you know, because I'm better than everyone, so I figured that out like decades ago. that Piers Morgan just brings these people who say the things he actually believes in, but is afraid to say because he's a coward. But yeah, now other people are saying that as well, so yeah, what else can I tell you? Anyway,
Muslims, but everybody wants to, promote this anti-Muslim, this hatred for Muslim, like they're all, these terrorists. And I think the Israelis are the terrorists.
yeah, the Israelis are the terrorists. Let's get rid of the people who are actually productive, who actually do good, and bring in all the people who are freeloaders, who have invented nothing and do nothing and don't believe in anything. All right. Like, let's reward people like you. Like, right? Like, others are not allowed to think that they're better than you. And let's reward people like you who throw people out of rooftops and things like that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw a video of him doing that. Anyway, he does a lot of stupid things, so whatever.
Perpetuating the big acts of terrorism. And, nobody wants to talk about that.
And what do you say to Jewish people who may watch this and be utterly horrified by what they're hearing?
They can be horrified.
I'm not horrified. I'm not horrified. I'm sorry, Piers. Don't speak. First of all, start bringing real Jews, right? Like, I'm sorry. Okay, not that I have anything personally against Rabbi Shmuley, okay? But I'm pretty sure when Piers Morgan decided to bring somebody who is Jewish to his, to represent the Jewish people for his audience, he was like, okay, guys, I need you to bring a ginger, a short, bearded, red-headed, fat guy to my studio to represent a Jew. And I think that's the only criteria he had. So he found Rabbi Shmuley, which just fits the bill, right? He just wanted to bring somebody who would fit the stereotypical, the uncomplimentary stereotypical look that he had in his mind. I'm pretty sure this is how he decided to bring Rabbi Shmuley to speak. But seriously, don't speak for us, sweetheart. Don't. We're not horrified, okay? These kind of people, they're scary, but you're the kind of person who is way scarier, because we all know that he is batshit crazy, okay? And the only reason people that are batshit crazy like him become mainstream and their opinion becomes something that people are like, oh, maybe there is truth to it, is because stuck up elitists like you bring them and make sure this is the only perspective the mass population hears. So you are the one who is horrifying. Dan is just a cockroach. He's nothing. The only reason he is something is because of people who pretend to be good but promote anti-Semitism.
Horrified by what they're hearing.
They can be horrified. I was horrified to find that they mass murdered Christians. I was horrified to learn the things that they teach in the Talmud. I was horrified that they think that Jesus is burning in shit.
Mass murder Christians? What are you talking about? If you're talking about Sholet Yossi, Apostle Paul, I'm sorry, he doesn't represent us either. Like, he's the worst. Like, he's a communist. Like at the best case, he's like a communist Jew, somebody who's pretending to be Jewish, like, as a Jew kind of person, where they don't even know how to spell seder or how they what you do in Passover, like these kind of Jews. Or or somebody who isn't even Jewish at all, just claim to be one. Who are you talking about? What? When did Jews is it talking about like Soviet Russia?
Shit in hell. I was horrified that they think that the Virgin Mary is a whore. I was horrified to learn that they think it's okay to steal.
He's saying, do they say she's a whore? I think they just said that, like, I don't remember they actually said whore, or just like betrayed her, like, sneaked around.
From Gentiles. I was horrified to hear that there's, two sets of justice. I was horrified to find out that they think it's okay to, gang rape Palestinian prisoners. I was horrified about all those things. I'm horrified that we're funding a genocide right now. So they can be horrified.
Dan Bilzerian.
See this little piece of shit? Did you see that? Did you see that smirk of approval? It was like, yes, accurate. Say everything I want, everything I want to perpetuate in society, just say it out loud. I'm gonna pretend that I'm horrified, but in reality I'm gonna agree with you. How brave. Alright, let's go. Okay, was it enough of the idiot? Because I kinda wanna see. Remember how nobody felt bad for the Nazis? Well, congrats Israelis, you are the... Oh, okay, fine. I think I gave this man more attention than he deserves for the rest of his life. Okay, I want to see what the Trump people say. That sounds like more fun.
I think at this point, the only thing that is going to stop the Supreme Leader from his nuclear obsession is a very credible use and threat of military force. Look, nobody wants war, nobody wants a conflict, but this is about deterrence. And at this point, with Iran believing they are this close, remember they have to have the fissile material, but also the ballistic missiles and the ability to weaponize it. I think this is the only thing that will stop him. And what does that mean? That means a very clear statement from the commander-in-chief. We did not get that in that press conference. But it also means credibly moving forces into the region, and it, most importantly, selling the Israelis, giving the Israelis the technical, sophisticated military equipment that they've been asking for and haven't been getting from this administration.
Yeah, thank you. Just do business. Just we pay, you give, we do things that we want. Fair.
Statement from the Supreme Leader that they can build a nuclear bomb
Supreme Leader,
right now.
I love
Doesn't
it.
that sort of
Supreme
demand
Leader.
a response from the Biden?
Why are they calling him Supreme Leader? It's like, isn't it weird? Like, my Supreme Leader.
Administration.
Well, again, we get this. I think it demands a very clear response, in that when we say we will not allow Iran to have a bomb, what does that mean? What are we prepared to do to stop it? The Israelis are very clear, and we, one, need to be clear alongside them, but two, need to be clear to the region that we will support Israel if they have to take action.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so that was Mike Waltz. Let's check him out. Okay, so who is he here? No. Mike Waltz. I'm pretty sure Robert Marco. Wait, wasn't he here? Mike Waltz. Trump loyalist Mike Waltz is the president-elect's national security advisor, a powerful role which does not require confirmation from the Senate. Oh, I like that. Good. Is he responsible for the arm shipments? I'd like that. The 50-year-old who served in the National Guard will be responsible for briefing Mr. Trump on key national security issues and coordinating with the different agencies. Having praised Mr. Trump's foreign policy views, Mr. Waltz is leading critic of China and has spoken out about the country's activity in the Asia Pacific. By the way, they're super aggressive. I don't know why America is not panicking more about it. Like, they are being super aggressive. Like Russia's airplane. I'm smart. Jet crossed over to Japan's territory. Like, they're really playing around. Like, they had surrounded Taiwan. They are terrorizing the Philippines. They're having shady deals with Australia. That's not good for... I mean, here's the thing. Like, America has this incredible privilege of them being, you know, they're so far away that humanity, like, it was populated, but it was really populated only 400 years ago, 300, 200, like, crazy. And it's like, so it gets really, it's like they're the last people to get things when, but when, if the whole world is gonna start burning, then America's gonna fail. Claiming the US needs to be ready for potential conflict in the region. Yeah, it's true. Also, it's easier to take care of conflicts in where it happens than trying to make sure all the oceans around you are safe, right? Because it's just, you know, one boat that slips through and you're screwed. So don't make them get close to you, I think. And many... All right, who else do we got here? Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz. The Kurds in the Syrian Democratic Forces are our allies, and we will not put them in danger. America, your new Secretary of State. Congratulations, Marco Rubio. Mazal tov. Okay, let's see.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not.
Oh, I saw that.
Are you filming it?
Wait,
I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
I just have one thing to say to this lady. Pink is not your color. Sorry. It doesn't work for you. Okay, let's read one Rubio. Marco Rubio. Okay. Where is it? Where's thunder? Why is it not here? Did I miss it? Here, okay. Donald Trump has named Marco Rubio as his Secretary of State, making him the first Latino member of the president-elect's top team. Mr. Rubio, a Florida senator, unsuccessfully ran against Mr. Trump to be the Republican presidential candidate in 2016. In the past, the 53-year-old has advocated for muscular foreign policy with respect to the United States geopolitical rivals, including China, Iran, and Cuba. However, over the last several years, he has softened some of his stances to align more closely with Mr. Trump's views. He was the contender to be his 2024 running mate before J.D. Vance landed the role. I really like J.D. Vance, from what I've seen at least. Okay. There is no such thing as the West. Okay, this is Mike Huckabee, which doesn't appear because he is the is gonna be the ambassador, incoming U.S. ambassador to Israel.
No such thing as a West Bank. It's Judea and Samaria. My feelings personally, and I'm speaking only as a person, I think Israel would only be acting on the property it already owns. I think Israel has title deed to Judea and Samaria. There are certain words I refuse to use. There is no such thing as a West Bank. It's Judea and Samaria. There's no such thing as a settlement. They're communities, they're neighborhoods, they're cities. There's no such thing as an occupation.
That they get out of their minds that people are living in.
This is a great attitude to have.
Lean-tos.
Okay, my favorite speech, I didn't find it. I don't have the video in here. Maybe I'll look for it. Where Trump goes, Israel is so small. See, it needs to be bigger. I'm like crying. I know, right?
Hence, sleeping in cars.
Like the Middle East would look everywhere, like everywhere there are Israelis is better, believe me. But yeah.
Circled around a tree. They're living in very well-designed and beautiful cities and communities. Can't wait to get back. I'm going to take an extra hat. I'm going to get it to President-elect Trump. Build Israel great again.
Yeah.
Who knows? We may see him wear this out there in one of his rallies somewhere. I don't know. Can't promise that.
You know what I love? Is like there are so many jokes with the. He's like a devout Christian, right? I saw someone's commentary where they said that I don't know. All right, so can anybody tell me if he was somebody that Trump had to choose to elect to do something that is significant? Because I'm not sure, because it sounded like in the conversation I've been listening to, it sounded like Trump had to put him somewhere that is meaningful. And per definition, him being such a devout Christian would have made it problematic in a lot of things, like in a lot of jobs. And I was like, when it comes to being the ambassador for Israel, it's like he loves Israel, Israelis love him. It's like match made in heaven. He can be the most devout Christian ever. But there are so many jokes now in Israel that the government needs to, step up their game so that they wouldn't be embarrassed when they're gonna have an ambassador from the United States that is more in line with the Jewish cause than the Jews are, which would be extremely embarrassing.
I can only promise he will get a copy of the hat. Thank you very much.
That's so cute. I like that. All right, here's another one.
The term West Bank, there is no such thing.
Is that him? No, it's Sheva? I want to go through. Rebecca, have you ever seen The King's Speech by Charlie Chaplin? I think I did. I don't remember it though. Mariana, I live in the EU. Things are not fine. I'm like seeing those crazy stories from the UK as well, and the EU, like that the police came to question a 9-year-old. Like, what the heck? And then they put people over, like they put him in jail for hate speech crimes, which is, political criminals, and let go of murderers. Like, what's wrong with them? But yeah, I guess the EU is also like that. Lambi, I live there is a false argument. You live in one location, either have your head in the sand or a bar. EU is screwed. Okay, that's a private conversation. What are Rebecca's? What's your view on Tulsi Gabbard's nomination as new director of the National Intelligence, DNI, since she is pro-India, pro-Israel, anti-Pakistan, anti-Turkey. Well, first of all, I completely agree with the sentiments of pro-Israel, anti-Pakistan, anti-Turkey. India is a funny country. India is so bureaucratic, it's bad for it. India is neutral for me, but like I would love India to step up and like improve. I mean, not in a sense that they're evil or anything, or just in a sense that they are, the management system there is awful. Like they need to be more fast. Like, you know, go fire people, like you're fired, and remove bureaucracy and things like that. The bureaucracy there is nightmare. Anyway, okay, one at the same time. Terrence, India is not stupid. Here's the thing. Indians are not stupid. India is very awkward. Like they're slow. Not because they're made of, like the Indians are like very smart people. But it doesn't show because the system is slowing them down. And that needs to improve. Like that's a shame. Crunch. Am I dreaming? Maybe, maybe not.
As you well know, I've never been willing to use the term West Bank. There is no such thing. I speak of Judea and Samaria. I tell people there is no occupation. It is a land that is occupied by the people who have had a rightful deed to the place for 3,500 years, since the time of Abraham. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the terms that maybe the media would use, or even people against Israel would use, are not terms that I employ, because I want to use terms that live from time immemorial. And those are the terms like promised land and Judea, Samaria. These are biblical terms. And those are important to me. And so I will continue to follow that nomenclature unless I'm instructed otherwise, but I don't think that'll happen. As you well know, I've never been willing to use the term West Bank.
That's very short. SF saying, Turkey recently cut ties with Israel, so this could be a perfect opportunity for Israel to recognize the Armenian genocide. Again? How many times does Israel need to recognize the Armenian genocide for it to stick? I mean, I grew up learning in school about the Armenian Holocaust. So in our educational system, it was never something that was not recognized. It was always like, I grew up, like I learned it as the Armenian Holocaust. So we actually, we often even use the same word as we do when we describe the Jewish Holocaust. But when it comes to foreign relations, yeah, it happened more recently. But I saw this tweet, which is way too long. The Palestinian Orthodox Archbishop Atala Hanard addresses Christian Zionism and Mike Huckabee's nomination as U.S. ambassador to Israel. We do not recognize what is called Christian Zionism. I mean, I think this is. I think
at this point, the only thing.
You do not recognize something that is called Christian Zionism. I mean, I think it's called dictatorship. Yeah. I mean, I think there are fair reasons for people who believe in the Bible to believe that Zionism is something that makes sense if you actually read it. Of course, historically speaking, a lot of Christian leaders didn't bother reading the Bible because, I mean, their followers are peasants. They do whatever they tell them to do, and if they actually read the Bible and know what's in it, it's going to be embarrassing for them, like mentally speaking, because they were like, if I actually read the Bible and then I tell the peasants something else, then I'll feel bad with myself. But if I don't read it, then I won't even know, and I can tell the peasants whatever I want. Amazing. That's why I think that Christianity, like his Christianity and Christianity the way it is now, is so different from what it used to be. Even there is a scene that I actually didn't watch, the Godfather, which is embarrassing, but that recently somebody described to me that there was a scene where the mafia person comes to the Pope or something, or the Archbishop, and they want to do business, and it's shady business, and they talk about Christianity. At some point is like, you know what's Christianity in Europe? And like he picks up a pebble from the fountain, it breaks it. You see, like it's wet only from the outside, as in where Christianity never sipped in to the essence of what Europe is. It only covers it. So I feel like the Gutenbergs and printing the Bible and people starting to learn and understand for themselves, it really, really changed a lot, So all right. In America, there are individuals who call themselves Christian Zionists. This phenomenon is despised and rejected by us because their literature is alien to Christian friends. Their literature, they interpret the Old Testament in a political manner that aligns with their agendas and interests. You know what would have made it more credible? If their stance, if they could have brought up anything to support their stance from a theological point of view, right? It's like, or refuses to acknowledge that Palestine exists. I feel like that statement would have been way more impressive if they would quote from the Bible anything about the Palestinian people, anything at all. There are no Palestinian people. When Israel was named Palestine in order to eliminate every resident that live in the area, they named it the geographical area of Israel, Palestine, to raise a population, not to create a new one. There are no Palestinian people. Christian, you cannot be Christian and think there are Palestinian people. I don't know. I mean, I do know. This is the rock from the fountain. There is no Christianity in them. It just for looks. Here this is what I say. Not all pigs are good. Assad shield Tulsi Gabbard nominated for National Intelligence Director by Trump. To be honest, I mean, I don't want to read it. First of all, it's written in the Hill, so it's not trustworthy. Second of all, yes, of course, Assad indeed had used, he's awful, and he used chemical weapons on children and his own people en masse. But to be honest, it's kind of a common practice in the Middle East. This is just something you do. So, yes, awful, but every choice is awful, so I don't know. At least he's secular. I mean, and he's kind of weak, right? He just cares about his dog and stuff like that more than anything, and he's manageable.
If Israel wants...
But I don't know what it means that she's like, did she say he's an amazing person?
If Israel wants to destroy Hamas, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hamas. If Israel wants to destroy Hezbollah, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hezbollah. If Israel and Mossad want to pull off Munich 2.0 and take out every last leader of Hamas, wherever they may be hiding, from Doha to Dresden, host a red wedding at the Four Seasons in Qatar, the next time Haniyeh and Mashal show up...
Again. Like, this is... Host a red wedding in the Four Seasons in Qatar. Mwah. Like, no, this is art. Right? I wish if I had said something that's smart, I would have printed it on sweaters and sold it. Just Israel host a red wedding in the Four Seasons of Qatar. Like, make it some, I like, my graphic design skills are horrible, but like some kind of logo, like Four Seasons, red wedding, Israel heart, something, you know? Amazing.
Leader of Hamas, wherever they may be hiding, from Doha to Dresden, host a red wedding at the Four Seasons in Qatar. The next time Haniyeh and Mashal show up, they should go ahead and do it. If Israel wants to at long last abandon the myth of a two-state solution, Israel should go ahead and abandon a two-state solution. The rest of the Arab world can absorb Palestinians just as the Jews absorbed their people.
I like him. I'm gonna watch it 3 times. I'm telling you ahead of time. It gives me so much joy. You're listening, like, Yep.
Out of 22 countries they were kicked out of since 1948. I would love nothing more than for the IDF to put the heads of the top 100 Hamas leaders on stakes and line them up on the Israel-Gaza border as a sign that October 7, 2023 will never happen again. That is Israel's decision to make, not ours. That is what David Ben-Gurion would tell Israel to do. That is what George Washington would tell the United States to do. If Israel...
Man, I love him. He's Hindu, isn't he? I think Hindu, I want to talk to somebody who's actually Hindu sometime. All my experience with people from India are people that don't really know Hinduism. But, I mean, I guess there are so many different kind of Hinduism, just like Judaism.
Wants to destroy Hamas, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hamas. If Israel wants to destroy Hezbollah, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hezbollah. If Israel and Mossad want to pull off Munich 2.0 and take out every last leader of Hamas, wherever they may be hiding, from Doha to Dresden, host a red wedding at the Four Seasons in Qatar, the next time Haniyeh and Mashal show up, they should go...
I mean, Haniyeh is out, but Khaled Mashal is still alive. It's on the to-do list.
Go ahead and do it. If Israel wants to at long last abandon the myth of a two-state solution, Israel should go ahead and abandon a two-state solution. The rest of the Arab world can absorb Palestinians just as the Jews absorbed their people out of 22 countries they were kicked out of since 1948. I would love nothing...
That is true. Yep. See, that would solve the conflict. Everything would be amazing. Like, listen, 3rd time where I told you, we're playing it. The next time, I'm not gonna touch it. We're all gonna watch it, enjoy it, appreciate it from end to finish. From start to finish, I'm sorry.
Nothing more than for the IDF to put the heads of the top 100 Hamas leaders on stakes and line them up.
I wanna say, yes. Oh, that would be amazing. I wonder, like, how many of our soldiers would technically be able to do that, you know, like, because the truth is, I've got to speak to some Israeli soldiers. I mean, they're kind of soft, okay? I'm not sure they would technically, I don't know, maybe if it's Hamas leaders, they would be able to cut off their heads and put it on a stake, but I don't know. I think a lot of them would not be able to.
Up on the Israel-Gaza border as a sign that October 7, 2023 will never happen again. That is Israel's decision to make, not ours. That is what David Ben-Gurion would tell Israel to do. That is what George...
Yeah. It's amazing. It's so easy to solve the conflict in the Middle East. I mean, it will not. It will only, like, solve one conflict because there are a million conflicts. But it would be a start. Because then everyone else would have the guts to do what is needed and get rid of Islam. Just get rid of it, 100%, you know, and all the terrorist groups. Just, this is something that when you have power, like, and you know, and people actually cooperate and do things together, like, it's like, you know what, like the Jews, for example. Can you believe it's the same nation, right? Like, remember the last time we went through an anti-Semitic period? Like conceptually, nobody feared us back then. Nobody was like, oh, they're evil. I mean, yeah, they're evil, but nobody was like, oh no, like they can do something. No, nobody feared the Jews in any shape. I mean, Israel seemed a bit weak for some time, but now that we're not weak, people are like, you know, they can hate us as much as they want, but still there is like some reverence to it. It's you can do a lot by just choosing to be different, to do differently, to have an army, to go to answer back. And the world could look super different if people, just like the Jews, went from being those stateless, unorganized, to having an army that is breaking records. You know, people are like, okay, Jews can do science, Jews can do math, they can sit in an office. But apparently, no, they can do. Oh, oops, sorry. I bet it was awful. They can do military work too. They can fight. The world can be different if you just decide to look at it differently. If United States be like, you actually, you know what? The United States can just say something, and the world will act differently because it's the effing United States.
Washington would tell the United States to do. If Israel wants to destroy Hamas, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hamas. If Israel wants to destroy Hezbollah, Israel should go ahead and destroy Hezbollah. If Israel and Mossad want to pull off Munich 2.0 and take out every last leader of Hamas, wherever they may be hiding from Doha to Dresden, host a red wedding at the Four Seasons in Qatar, the next time Haniyeh and Mashal show up, they should go ahead and do it. If Israel wants to at long last abandon the myth of a two-state solution, Israel should go ahead and abandon a two-state solution. The rest of the Arab world can absorb Palestinians just as the Jews absorbed their people out of 22 countries they were kicked out of since 1948. I would love nothing more than for the IDF to put the heads of the top 100 Hamas leaders on stakes and line them up on the Israel-Gaza border as a sign that October 7, 2023 will never happen again. That is Israel's decision to make, not ours. That is what David Ben-Gurion would tell Israel to do. That is what George Washington would tell the United States to do. If Israel wants to destroy...
Yes. All right.
Anti-Semitism and defend our Jewish... And here's what I will do to defeat anti-Semitism and defend our Jewish citizens in America. My first week back in the Oval Office, my administration will inform every college president that if you do not end anti-Semitic propaganda, they will lose their accreditation.
See, so easy. It is so easy. It is so easy. Stop messing up. Stop. You know, when was it like the first black girl, like the first black girl to go to an all-white school in the South, they brought up like Marines or something, like soldiers, to escort her, you know, to make sure nothing happens. Yeah. If something has to be done, do it.
And federal taxpayer support. Okay. Truth is, you don't have to do much after that. When you do that, it's going to work miracles. Please sit down. We will not subsidize the creation of terrorist sympathizers, and we're not going to do it certainly on American soil. We're not going to do it anywhere. Next, I will inform every educational institution in our land that if they permit violence, harassment, or threats against Jewish students, the schools will be held accountable for violations of the civil rights law. It's very important.
So simple. So simple. So easy.
Jewish Americans must have equal protection under the law. They're going to get it. At the same time, my administration will move swiftly to restore safety for Jewish students and Jewish people on American streets.
So easy. So easy. Okay, I want to hear that. I think it's important. That's Tulsi Gabbard on Turkey, which I think is important. Turkey is like, I mean, how old is Erdogan? Like, how long does he have to do damage? Because usually if you want to be like a serious dictator, then you have to start young. No offense, but I mean, he did start kind of young since he's still alive. He's been out. Or is it people just live longer? Could be. How old this idiot is? Let's see. How old is he? He's 70. Yeah, he can. There is still time. There is still time for him to do damage. Yeah, there is. Oh well.
Turkey's Erdogan is not our friend. He's one of the most dangerous dictators in the world, and the United States government and media have no business helping this Islamist megalomaniac and his Al-Qaeda partners. Turkey's been supporting ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
I'm so happy a mainstream politician is saying that. It's been known for so long that it's been Turkey that is supporting ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Like, ISIS and Al-Qaeda are Turkey at this point.
Terrorists from behind the scenes for years. Turkey's Erdogan is not our friend. He's one of the most dangerous dictators in the world, and the United States government and media have no business helping this.
Crazy. I'm happy she says it. I'm happy. I like it. Because it's dangerous. I mean, I'll tell you what where the problem is. The problem is not necessarily Erdogan himself, but when you bring your country to a certain situation, there are only a few ways out. Not everybody chooses what Argentina did. Argentina voted in Javier Milei and to take responsibility for the crap they've been doing to themselves for decades. And it could be that that's already okay. It could be that the Argentinians, if you look at the map and you realize that they're actually basically at the end of the world, and geographically there is a high, like there are really high mountains separating them from Chile, and Brazil is way bigger and has a much more impressive army than them. Maybe the population just realized that their only option is to, you know, tighten the belt and actually start changing policies and doing the hard things that have to be done in order to get out of the economical situation that they're in. The problem with Turkey and Erdogan is that Erdogan brings Turkey to a point where the price of them correcting course, the way the Argentinians doing now, by the way, which is hard, will be so high, the population wouldn't want to do it. And Turkey, though, is situated in a place that is extremely volatile. So what happens if you are at a cross point and you run out of money, but you really do need money? Terrorism, war, threats, closing up trade routes. There are so many things that Turkey can do to completely change the geopolitical situation and the security of the whole, a lot of people, that like the whole of Europe, and with it, you know, the whole of the Middle East, obviously, Africa. Turkey can do a lot of damage, and they can be real terrorists because of their geographical location, and they're Muslim. So this is heading to a situation where they might not choose to be like Argentina, which also, to be honest, doesn't have any choice either. So it's like Argentinians, not enough people to attack Brazil, and not in a important enough geographical location to start, threatening and demanding things from their neighbors to either. So now they have to do the hard work. And they don't follow a very stupid book that shows you how to terrorize and steal and get monies via burglary and theft instead of work, right? Their book believes in stealing. It doesn't believe in working. It doesn't believe in agriculture, like Islam. When I say book, so the culture, so even if it's not Erdogan, do you know if the next generation or the generation after that would choose to do the responsible thing in Turkey when they can do the easy thing instead? Yeah. So Turkey is a real long-term threat because it has too much power just from where it's situated. Like the geographical location of Turkey is so critical that they have power to terrorize a good chunk of Earth. So yeah, that's the scary part. All right, I see you guys are going to sleep. I think Turkey tanked its own economy on its own a few years ago. Yeah. The scary part is when you dig a hole so deep, it's like it's not even about Erdogan anymore. It just, at some point, a generation would come, they wouldn't want to do the hard things. They wouldn't want to do the right thing. And to be honest, and they have a choice. They actually have a choice. Argentina with all due respect, like they did the right thing, but they also didn't have a choice but to do the right thing. So that's the problem. All right. Yeah, church is nice, sing is close, no sleepy. Yeah, I think we can go to sleep now. I'll try to do another live soon, okay? Not wait that many days again. Maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow I'll do another live. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Ndese Erdogan thinks he's an Ottoman Sultan. Yeah, for sure. He does. Yeah. Anyway. Jimmy the Jew from Philly, Erdogan stole the last election. True, probably, but like I said, the problem is like when you dig a hole that is like, it's like he's paving a way just because at some point a generation would come and like, why are we working hard if we can just go back to Islam and just, you know, enslave the whole world? Like, that's the beauty of Islam. Anyway, good night, everybody.